Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimo Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Dear students, it's been a while, and in this episode that we are about to have, allow me to take you through some of the thematic concerns or the issues that are raised in the Truly Married Woman. And remember, the author of the Truly Married Woman is Abioseni Cole, who is a writer and an author from Sierra Leone. This still proves the fact that A Silent Song and Other Stories is a unique collection of short stories from various societies across the world. And if you look at most of the stories, the writers are coming from African continent, but they've also, visited foreign, quite a good number of foreign countries. That is why it is a collection from various societies across the world. Under under the thematic concerns that we have in the Truly Married Woman by Abioseni Cole. So here are some of the issues that we were able to identify. The first one is a conflict due to parenting styles. So when we talk about parenting styles, we talk about different ways or methods that parents adopt or use when bringing up or raising their children. Remember, different parents adopt different parenting styles. For instance, in the Truly Married Woman, the kind of the kind of parenting style that Ajay opts for when it comes to punishing Oju is different from what the wife, that is Ayo, thinks. So Ayo is kind of modernized, and she talks about she talks about some better ways in which they can use to correct their son instead of beating the child every now and then. In the story, we get to learn that some parents are very strict with their children to the extent that they use excessive force to ensure their children behave as they wish. So a good example is Ajayi, who beats his eldest son Oju for having wet his sleeping mat. So on her part, that is on the part of Ayo, who is the wife, she feels that this is not right. And in one of the rare occurrences, she disagrees with Ajayi about it. So she tells him, and this is what she says, Ajayi, you beat Ojo too much. He has not stopped wetting, although you beat him every time he does. In fact, he is doing it more and more now. Perhaps if you stopped beating him, you'd get better. Through their disagreement, we learn of Ayo's modernized and informed traits as she discloses that she has been attending women's meetings where they are taught modern ideas. So these traits are one of the triggers that make Ajay marry Ayo after realizing that she is a woman to be proud of. So we also see some conflict over what parents want for their children in relation to what the children want for themselves. So Ayo's living with Ajay has not been, it had not been accepted by her parents when she first came to him against her parents' wishes. So the writer further tells us what Ayo's father had hoped that she would marry. So Ayo's father had hoped that his daughter one day would marry a high school teacher. But however, Ayo fell in love with Ajay, who is a government clerk, and moved in with him. So that was against the parents' wishes. So another thematic concern that we come across is the issue of family and community. So the story shows the strong involvement of the community and extended family in the wedding process. So including the negotiation that is for the bride and the exchange of gifts. So the importance of family is also shown in Ayo's decision to move back in with her father. That is before the wedding and the close relationships between siblings and cousins. So remember, I think under that we can also talk about tradition. So it's like it is a norm in that society that before being married, you're supposed to go back. That is you move back in with your father so that kind of you're officially taken or married. So there is also this issue of religion and spirituality. So we are told that Ajayi is initially interested in becoming a missionary with the World Gospel Crusading Alliance. And the story includes references to traditional religious practices such as praying and consulting, that is, soothsayers. So the characters also frequently express their belief in God and the importance of living a virtuous and moral life. However, to some extent, I can talk about religious hypocrisy because when the missionaries are visited, that is Ajayi's place, we are told that Ayo reorganized the house to so that it could look more appealing to the guests. So I don't know whether we'll argue. Okay, it is here. So the theme of hypocrisy. So hypocrisy, remember, it's all about pretense. So there is a lot of pretense among people in the society, that is to portray a particular image. So, uh, for instance, Ajay wrote to World Gospel Crusading Alliance, pretending to be interested in some information from them after a friend gave him a magazine that contained an invitation to join the Missionary Alliance. So, however, his true intention was not to work with them, but he hoped to get free items such as Bibles and large religious pictures that he would sell, give away, or use as wall pictures. So the depth of his hypocrisy is seen when he appears relieved that the chief clerk saved him from a life as a missionary when he told the visitors that the government prohibited his workers from working as missionaries. Uh, so appreciative is Ajayi of the chief clerk that he presents a carefully wrapped bottle of beer to the chief clerk as a present for having saved him. So he hypocritically extends an invitation of the missionaries to his home. He lies to the missionaries that the roads are not suitable to prevent them from using a taxi. So he intends to give time to his wife to reorganize their home into an appropriate environment to host the missionaries. So that's why I was talking earlier on, I was talking about religious hypocrisy. So they are not that religious and spiritual as they try to portray. So I also portrays high levels of hypocrisy. This is after changing the appearance of their home when she receives a message from Ajayi that he will be bringing white men to their home in half an hour. So Ayo took down the calendars with pictures of lightly clothed women and replaced them with family photographs. She also replaced the magazines with religious books and hid the wine glasses under the sofa. In efforts to portray an actual spiritual image, she goes ahead to borrow a wedding ring from her neighbor before putting on a Sunday dress. Look at uh, I mean, the level of hypocrisy in this family. So the missionaries are impressed by the show that she put up. The writer uses this act to symbolize Ayo's hypocrisy even in her marriage. So Ayo has been pretending to be a dutiful wife for the 12 years before her marriage, as she shows her true colors after the wedding. That is after she is truly married. And again, that is what also brings the title of the story. So Ayo refuses to prepare morning tea and breakfast for Ajayi. So again, her hypocrisy is further seen when she turns down Ajayi's advances on the evening he disclosed to her that he intended to marry her. She shyly says no and pushes him away, asking him to wait until after marriage. So Ayo argues that it would not be correct. So this is ironic since the two have lived together for 12 years and their intimacy has even made them give birth. So it has born three children. So there's no there is no difference whether Ajay has to wait until after he officially marries Ayo or not, because the two had been staying together. So there is also the role of gender and gender expectations. So under Under this issue, we are going to talk about some of the gender roles and the expectations of traditional gender roles. So in the first place, Ayo has always been responsible for making tea for Ajay and taking care of the household while Ajay goes to work. So that is what happens. That is what happens before. That is before they are, officially married. So, however, after they are married, Ayo asserts her newly acquired status as a truly married woman and expects Ajay to be more respectful and take on some household responsibilities, such as making his own tea. So, this issue is also present in Ayo's, that is, father's demands for a suitable husband for his daughter, and the traditional role of the husband in paying for the wedding and providing for the family. So there is also, that is, the issue of cohabiting versus marriage. So remember, the story is centered around Ayo and Ajay's marriage, and it also explores the expectations and roles within a marriage. So despite living together for 12 years and having 3 children already, Ayo and Ajay are not considered married. So we are told by Abiosani Call that Ajay and Ayo have been together for 12 good years. So they are not married. Ajay had meant to marry Ayo, but the right moment never came. That is according to Ajay. So it is no wonder that while explaining to his friends who Ayo is, Ajay refers to her as not a wife but a mistress. So Ayo is seen to have hoped that Ajay would indeed marry her. During their first year of marriage, she kept telling Ajay about their friends' weddings, hoping that he would get interested and marry her. She, however, ends up frustrated. That is when instead of showing an interest, uh, Ajay criticizes the friends' spending due to the considerable cost of the ceremony. Due to the considerable cost of the ceremony. So the priest would speak out violently against unmarried couples who lived together about 2 or 3 times in a year. So these sermons, we are told that would make friends of Ajay and Ayo look at them sympathetically, leading to Ajay keeping off from the church for a few weeks. So another thing is that despite not being married, Ajay and Ajo enjoy some peaceful ambience in their marriage. So Ayo performs her that is her wifely roles. She would wake up at 5 to prepare Ajay's breakfast, something she fails to do after she's married. So Ajay would wake to find his he would wake up to find his tea ready just as he liked it, so weak and sugary without milk. So ironically, after he is married, she that is, things seems to change. She changes all of a sudden. So instead of continuing with her wifely duty or making them better, Ayo is reluctant to serve her husband as she used to do. So the morning after the wedding finds Ayo comfortably beside her husband when his alarm goes off. So, unlike other previous mornings, there is no tea ready for Ajay. So, he is initially alarmed as he thinks she is ill. Still, her shocking reply confirms her deliberately intention not to make tea for her husband. So, Ajay, this is what now Ayo says to the husband. Ajay, my husband, for 12 years I have got up every morning at 5 to make tea for you and breakfast. Now I'm truly married woman. You must behave towards me with some respect. You are now my husband and not a lover. Get up and make yourself a cup of tea. Interesting, right? So this strange turn of events raises concern over whether valid marriage helps improve the home environment or it destroys home. So we can also talk about the issue of change. That is, the story touches on the theme of personal growth and change as Ayo and Ajay navigate their newly roles. That is, now as married, they navigate their newly newly roll, sorry, as married couples. So we also have got, poverty and financial struggles. So we are told that Ajay borrows a large sum of money in order to pay for the to cater for everything for the wedding. That is paying for music, food, and even the dresses. So Ajay and Ayo cannot afford a holiday after their wedding, but according to me, the holiday isn't a must because they have lived together. I mean, for all that long. So Ajay and Ayo they cannot afford holiday after the wedding, and we are also told that Ayo's father demands gift and demands to be assured that Ajay's family is good enough before agreeing to the marriage. So Ajay's uncle and other relatives bring traditional gifts to Ayo's father, including small coins and fruit. So these, they want to prove their worth and ability to care for Ayo. So it's like an assurance that that Ayo is in good hands. So Ajay and Ayo discuss the financial constraints of their wedding and make decisions based on their limited resources, such as choosing a grey dress for Ayo instead of a white one, and on not going on a honeymoon. So we also have got the theme of power dynamics. So the power dynamic within the relationship between Ayo and Ajay is explored uh, with Ayo taking a more assertive role in their marriage, and she is the wife. So we can also talk about maybe contrast between African and Western culture. So this is demonstrated through the characters' interactions with the white missionaries from the United States. So as well as the influence of Western media on the characters' choices and expectations, such as Ajay's desire for Ayo to wear a traditional white wedding dress and Ayo's reference to Hollywood actresses wearing see-through. They are called see-through or see-me-through materials. Those are, transparent, kind of transparent or translucent uh, dresses. So, dear students, that marks the end of the session. Thanks for watching till the end, and keep it easy, Limu, for more content to come. Until next time.